What if the very thing you believe makes a marriage strong is what guarantees it will fail? What if the greatest romantic advice ever written tells you not to trust your own heart? I found this fragment of text written over 150 years ago. It doesn't have a famous author, it's just called The Rule of Matrimony. And it contains one of the most brutally honest and terrifyingly accurate breakdowns of why love fails that I've ever read. It describes a trap nearly all of us fall into. Here's the trap, in its own words. A young man is attracted and he admires. The young woman is flattered. If she has any faults, she is not likely to display them, not from hypocrisy, but because they are not called out. In other words, early dating isn't deception. It's a performance of our best possible selves, and that's only human. The young man falls in love, so does the young woman, and when once in love, they can no longer see faults. In the blindness of love, each raises the other to a standard of perfection which human nature can never attain. This is the critical moment. Love becomes a blindness. It's not that you ignore the red flags. You are literally, chemically, incapable of seeing them. You haven't married a person. You've married an ideal. And then reality arrives. They become equally annoyed on finding by degrees that they were in error. The reaction takes place, and they then underrate as much as before they had overrated each other. This is the devastating pendulum swing. You go from you're perfect to you're impossible. The very strength of your initial illusion fuels the strength of your eventual disappointment. It feels like a betrayal. But you weren't betrayed by them. You were betrayed by the story you told yourself. So the text asks a radical question. What if you avoided the trap altogether? What if you married without this violence of passion? You wouldn't expect perfection. You'd start with clear eyes, and maybe you'd have a better chance. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. The text doesn't end by advising a cold, passionless marriage. It gives us a metaphor. Although tempests are to be avoided, still a certain degree of oscillation and motion are requisite to keep fresh and clear the lake of matrimony. The water would otherwise soon stagnate and become foul. Your relationship is a lake. Perfect dead calm leads to stagnation, to resentment, boredom, silence. It's the contrary currents of opinion, the disagreements, the debates, the difficulties you surmount together that keep the water fresh. It's not about avoiding conflict. It's about needing a certain kind of conflict. The kind that reminds you both that you're two separate thinking individuals choosing to be together, not two halves of a fantasy dissolving into one. So, the rule of matrimony isn't just a cynical take. It's a warning against one specific danger. Letting love blind you to the real, complicated, imperfect person in front of you. Because a lasting partnership isn't built on thinking your partner is perfect. It's built on seeing them clearly, choosing them anyway, and knowing that the currents between you, even the contrary ones, are what give the relationship life. What do you think? Is the violence of passion a necessary risk or a trap to be avoided? Have you experienced the pendulum swing? Let's talk in the comments.